Hello, hello, hello. Matthew Pillmore here, VIP Financial Education. Hope everybody's doing well. Very exciting video, one that a lot of you have been waiting to hear about, and I'm finally here able to bring you some good news, okay? So this is gonna relate to the prefer passive real estate flip opportunities that we've been talking about for a year. I wanna give you a couple quick updates on that because we've heard you loud and clear, and your gripes have matched mine, which is lack of inventory, lack of available ability to participate, and delays in the projects that have been underway now for a while, for a year. So I want to talk about both of those things and how I think that we have realistically managed to kind of solve some of that. And I want to talk about two deals that recently just came up and another one that's on the way. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end. Like I said, hope everybody's been doing really, really well. I love it that the warm weather's here. I've been in the river a lot. I've been just enjoying a ton of freedom and peace and quiet. Managed to get some chickens and we're getting some other livestock. It feels amazing. Gonna hear my cat out here and she's gonna be crying away because she sees some of the chickens out back and she wants to go and hang out with them. But as I said, we had two deals that recently came up and I do want to spoil that right off the top of this conversation and let you know that they've both been filled, but I want to go through them so that you can see exactly the type of projects you can expect moving forward and how you can go about participating in these moving forward. Bottom line is this, my friend, if you're not concerned about the economy right now, I don't know what kind of a rock you've been living under, but it must be peaceful under there. Ignorance, I suppose, is blissful, but when you look back 20 or 30 years from now, and you're wondering why you don't have the money you need to comfortably live the life you want to, and you may even be looking at a job when you should be retiring, this is gonna be the reason why. You've gotta have money working for you while you're also working for money, and the compounding effect of that, where you're getting almost two sources of income instead of just the one, will be absolutely necessary now, not just a desire. This is necessary. The cost of living is outrageous. Outrageous. I don't know how anybody's doing it, but I've managed to put together opportunities for myself just using a home equity line of credit that now produces well above six figures worth of dividends and returns each and every year, that in addition to my regular streams of income allows me to not just live comfortably but continue to grow my nest egg and my wealth. And I think that's mandatory. We just don't have the choice anymore. So look at where you're at, decide whether or not you have those ingredients in place, and if not, I don't know what you've been waiting for, but you're running out of time. And I don't think it's going to get better. No matter what happens with the economy, I just don't see the prices coming down. Personally, I don't see the rates coming down. I think this is probably a little bit more normalized in a lot of ways, outside of the cost of living and a lot of the price tags we see on things. I think the rates are more normalized, and I think we should expect them to stay and operate accordingly. If they get better, then that's just sort of a pleasant surprise, but operate as though they aren't going to get better. Now, one of the problems that I see with trying to get returns that are meaningful enough on money that you are trying to get working for you is that a lot of times you have to just be so actively involved with it that perhaps you don't have the bandwidth or you just don't have the interest in committing 5, 10, 15, 20 plus hours per week. And usually if you're going to commit under 20, you're still not going to get the meaningful results you're going to need. So it's important for you to realize that realistically speaking, in order to get north of 20% returns, in fact, a lot of times it's even north of 10% returns, expecting to be involved is important, with the exception of the prefer method that we've talked about for a year. Prefer is an acronym, by the way, we came up with. It's catchy. It stands for Passive Real Estate Flips Easy Returns. And we've been working with this great group out of California, and they've done a fantastic job. All in all, we really like the relationship. The quality of their workmanship is fantastic. But the biggest gripe that I've been mentioning, and we've been hearing you guys echo, is there's not enough inventory. So people who are sitting on the sidelines twiddling their thumbs have not been able to get involved like they wish they could. And projects have taken longer than we were told to expect. And that's due to unexpected delays. And I think expecting the unexpected is pretty important. So we are at this point approaching these projects by encouraging people to expect the possibility of 12, maybe even 13 or 14 months for a project to be completed. However, by adding new qualified professionals, these are construction-based, high-end qualified people with the reputations behind them, I think we've been able to alleviate both concerns where it's added inventory, which is why these two deals recently came up, as well as another deal coming down the pipeline. And we expect the volume to increase from sub one per month to potentially several per month available for you guys now. And they also specialize in this particular region of the country, which we're looking at one of the hottest places in the country, both figuratively and literally, which is Florida. The Florida market in the high-end luxury space is still on fire. It's crushing, okay? And the cool thing about these houses, these are, again, several thousand square foot homes, oftentimes sitting right on the water. They're gorgeous, but they are just simply outdated. And a lot of times it's just these older folks who have aged out of the home, whether they're downsizing, perhaps even moving into some sort of a nursing home facility, or maybe even they've passed away and it's being dealt with through the estate. These houses have not seen the care and upgrades necessary to remain competitive for buyers that are entering into that specific region. And so whether they're 10, 15, 20 years old, they just need a lot of work. And these guys come in, they spend about $100,000 or even more per 1,000 square feet of the home. So a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot home could cost $300,000 or $400,000 or even more in order to get it upgraded to the quality that a buyer coming into that market who's spending millions of dollars to buy that home expects. But they don't want to do the work. They don't want to manage a crew to do it. So these guys actually focus in that region. They have a tremendous reputation, and we're going to continue to add people as we find qualified folks. We've done a lot of vetting on this newest group. We're going to continue to work with Maven as well. And the combination of both working side by side is going to allow us to overcome the challenge, I think, of a lack of inventory. It still may not be as many as we want, and you're still going to have to jump at things quickly if you want to get involved, because these two deals were filled within hours, well before I even had a chance to get on the channel and come on and talk with you about them. So make sure you're on the waiting list. That's number one. Get on the email list by emailing prefer@vipfinancialeducation.com. You include a first name, last name, and your phone number. That adds you to the waiting list. We then send an email out before I make a video like this saying, hey, we've got a deal coming. People respond to that, and it's first come, first served based on that email distribution list. So whoever emails and says, I've got X amount of money, it has to be at least $50,000 or more to participate. You send in a letter of intent, and essentially that secures your spot. Now, what I love about this prefer method, if you haven't heard me talking about it before, is that while there is risk in absolutely anywhere you put your money, frankly, I can't even wrap my head around where you can store your money where it's completely secure. Even in your standard savings accounts, it's not secure. You could bury money in the backyard and nature will potentially threaten your money. It can decay. There's just really, in my head, not a lot of solutions for total safety and security, and especially if you want your money to return on its value and contribute towards your wealth development. I'm just looking for ways of getting my money working for me in places that come as close as possible to being as least risky as it can be while still producing meaningful returns. And usually risk goes up when returns go up. In this case, these two deals are producing 23% cash on cash returns. 23%, completely passively. You don't have to be involved, and it's about as safe as you can expect. It's a promissory note, so you act as a lender. As long as you come in with at least $50,000, you can act as a fractional lender on one project, and there might be 4 of you, there might be 6 of you, there might be 8 of you, each coming in with $50,000 to essentially put the 20% down payment, the 80% first mortgage, and the costs of construction are then borrowed for and secured by the company that's doing the construction on the project. So they have a lot of skin in this game as well. They're completely incentivized to get this deal done as fast as they can, under budget, but still provide the highest quality of craftsmanship and the best finished product that they're able to, so that the end buyer that comes in and buys this newly repaired and rehabilitated home is what they're looking for. They want to be the most competitive property in that area. And so there's a ton of incentive to make sure that that's being done for them, because they have the most risk on the line. In fact, Michael Matthew, who is a partner of the channel, he's a third party that's willing to actually put a personal guarantee on the first mortgage and construction loans alongside the construction outfit that that we're partnering with alongside Maven. But I love that they specialize in that area. They've got their own contractors. They have 3 GCs. They've got 3 full-time teams. They've done triple-digit fix and flips of their own. They've partnered with many, many other people on other deals. They know what they're doing. They have their ducks in order. All the vetting that we've done on them, which has been extensive, has produced nothing but positive results. I think we found one yellow flag at one point, which was a misdemeanor traffic violation. And aside from that, everything checks out about these guys. So we're extremely excited. And because they are there in the area, we think the deals are going to get done a lot sooner. So that mitigates the other gripe that we've had along the way. I still tell people, try to ask yourself this question. If this happened in 12 months or even 13 or 14 months, would I still be happy with a 23% return on my money? Would I be pleased with that type of cash on cash return? If you are finding solutions that have the type of risk mitigation where you are collateralized through a promissory note that's secured against the asset of the home, a hard asset of a property, and you're finding something that's less risky than that produces higher than 23% returns, please reach out. We've only found these resources because of you guys. So reach out, I'll share it on the channel. If we do our homework and vet it and it looks great and we think it could help people around the country, I'm happy to share that too. Let's go over the 2 deals that just went under so that you can kind of see what future deals will look like and compare it and contrast it to other investment opportunities that you have, and perhaps even diversify your investments if you have access to the capital. And of course, again, mitigate your risk and reduce your risk by spreading your money out into a variety of things. But I'm excited as hell to get involved in these. I've got $100,000 in a project with Maven so far, a preferred deal out of Baton Rouge. That one is wrapping up and will be hitting the market soon. 2 of the deals that recently wrapped up are now under contract to sell. So these are starting to actually domino and sell. So we've got proof of concept at this point, and we're just pumped to start seeing these checks going out. But we're really optimistic that these things might even wrap up in 6 to 8 months, as we had originally hoped for with the last 11 deals. So with that in mind, the first deal, and check these addresses out for yourself. I want you to do your own homework. We're looking at 629 Southeast Riviera Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Gorgeous area of the country, folks. If you know what wealthy people are looking for, Fort Lauderdale is absolutely going to meet those prerequisites in so many different cases. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. It's a total of 2,692 square feet. It's on the water. It's a high elevation site. It's got a 50-foot dock out back, and it's located in a gated community of Riviera Isle, and that's on the Intercoastal, which, coming from Florida and spending the last couple of years there, back and forth between there and here in Colorado, I can tell you it is stunning. Guaranteed payout when this property sells. It's not a matter of how long the project takes. If it takes 8 months, these lenders are still going to earn the same returns that they would have earned. They're going to earn 23% on whatever they put in. So if you put $100,000 in on the project, you're going to get $23,000 out as a return on that loan, whether it takes 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 14 months. The buy price on this was $2.55 million, so $2,550,000. The cost of rehab on this, again, going back to what I said, about $100,000 per 1,000 square feet, is going to be $350,000. And that is done through the construction partner that we recently teamed up with. So we have all the confidence in the world based on the references and what we've seen them accomplish, and their reputation is phenomenal. They've said and demonstrated everything we could have hoped for so far. The mortgage amount on this is going to be $2,040,000, and that includes the construction holdback money. The appraised ARV, get this folks, is $4.3 million. So when people come to me and they ask me, well, why would they do that, right? Why would these construction partners that are in charge of all the work, and they're the ones that are maintaining and managing the swinging of the hammers and the blood and the sweat, oftentimes the tears that go into this, while you and I as lenders are sitting back and just waiting for that mailbox to fill up with checks, why would they be willing to give 23% to people like you and me over a 6, 8, 10, or 12-month period of time? Well, it's quite simple, because if you're looking at the types of profits that these guys expect to get, and they can qualify for the types of hard money and first mortgage construction loans that they need in order to get the job done by having 20% lender gap filled participation from you and I to do so, then they absolutely want our participation. They can do significantly more deals. This latest partner is saying adding 3 deals per month or 36 construction projects per year for the team size they have today is absolutely easy for them to do. This would not put a strain on their bandwidth at all to do that. But without the 20% contribution from your side or my side, they wouldn't be able to hit that type of volume. It just makes that much more sense for them to welcome people like us to participate on these deals so that they can make a lot more as well. I also love the fact that this newest partner is in his mid-30s. He's a family man, he's got kids, he's married. His reputation in the real estate industry is very long, over a decade at this point, and everybody seems to love the guy, but he is hungry, and he is, when he's talking about legacy, he's talking about doing this for his family and his kids. Whereas with, the partner we've been working with for the last year, I wouldn't blame him if he decided he wanted to step back and retire within the next 5 years. Maybe he's got 10 years because he loves what he's doing, but he's at that stage of life where why wouldn't you want to just go throw a couple lines in the water and drink some cold ones? So I wouldn't blame him if he wanted to. I don't know that he will, but I like the potential sustainability of this and the longevity of it. So again, we're going to keep looking for more partnerships that serve well, that we believe are going to be to the standards that we're looking for. Let's jump real quickly to the second deal here. This is in actually Delray Beach. Check this address out. I'll put links in the description for you guys on these properties. This is at 16355 Braeburn Ridge Trail, postal code 33446. This is also a 4-bedroom, but it has 6 bathrooms, and this is a 5,043 square foot corner lot. It is gorgeous. It's exclusive gated country club. Rehab costs on this is over $600,000. In fact, they're estimating $650,000 in rehab costs. And this is going to be done by the construction partner as well. So again, they have as much or more skin in the game on this as anybody else does that's participating. They're going to want to get it sold. Or they're going to be in more trouble than anyone else is. So this is about as low risk as you could ever ask for, especially again, since you have the collateralized security interest against the hard asset of the property participating as a lender on these. This is an appraised ARV. It's already been appraised, and they get multiple appraisals before they bring us a thumbs up to share this with our audience, which this list, by the way, that you should be emailing and getting on is 200 people strong. This is people who have said, I've got 50,000 or I've got 5 million, right? We're talking tens of billions of dollars that has been sitting on the sidelines while we're waiting to try and figure out a way to solve the inventory problem that's been happening. So that's why these deals filled up within a matter of hours, well before I could even come here and talk to you guys about it. But the appraised ARV on this is 2.7 million bucks. The profits are huge, but they're doing all the work. And that's why they can afford to give you what I would consider to be an almost impossible rate of return to find for a passive opportunity, which is 23% on your money. Whether it takes 6 months or whether it takes 12, you're making 23%. The goal for most of these lenders that have been participating in the previous deals and the ones that are saying they want to participate in future deals is to continue to roll the money back in and get more and more and more involved with these projects. Because if you can just get your money working for you and you're continuing to go out and work for your own money, then now all of a sudden, again, you are building your wealth twice as fast. Last thing I want to mention on this thing here, the difference between getting involved with this or getting involved with a lot of other things where you can leverage is that these guys are not going to care where the money is coming from. You could participate with access to capital from a home equity line of credit. You could access capital from retirement accounts. You can access capital from family and friends. You could arbitrage the projects. You could go to family and friends that you know could comfortably participate in something like this, and perhaps you could entice them with a 15 or 18% return, and you could benefit from the other 8 or 5% yourself. You can carve out a margin for yourself and arbitrage this. There are a lot of ways that people are actively finding profits inside this model, which I've loved too, because I think sometimes it just takes a little creativity. And as long as you're being honest with everybody, people just don't seem to have an issue with it at all. But these are being snatched up really quickly. And the only way to get involved is to email prefer@vipfinancialeducation.com. It'll be on the screen. It'll be in the description. Make sure you include a first name, last name, and your phone number. We'll get any questions you have answered. If you see a deal come up that you're not even the least bit interested in, just don't jump at it. You don't have to take anything that comes up, but at least you get eyeballs on the opportunities as they're showing up, because we're going to send out a preview email that says, hey, there's a deal coming. It's happening tomorrow, or it's happening in 2 days at noon Eastern time. Check your email at that point, just to make sure everybody has the same chance at those deals. And then once that property is live and active and ready for you guys to say, I want in, it's first come, first serve. So you've got to be on that email distribution list. The deal before these last two was snatched up in 17 minutes. These just don't last. So we can't offer preferential treatment. So you really want to make sure that you're serious if you're going to move forward. You have access to the capital. It's available to get to quickly, because you're going to send in a letter of intent and then you're going to send the wire. And then that's obviously going to go into an escrow account. This is all done above board. There are individual entities that are set up for each property that you will be a participant in. Any other questions that you have about that, we can answer in follow-up conversations based on you sending in your email now to prefer@vipfinancialeducation.com. There is a third deal that's about to be launched. We're hoping it happens here soon. So make sure you're on that email distribution list so that you can jump at the next opportunity as soon as possible. Because I can tell you right now, if you haven't been investing, if you're not earning returns, if your money isn't working for you, I fear you're already behind the 8 ball, because this economy is not going to get any better than it is right now. It is only going to continue to get worse. So you need to be doing something in order to offset the increased cost of living that we've all been experiencing and hedge yourself against this ridiculous inflation. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. I can't wait to continue to bring you new announcements. We're always working on your behalf to try and fix the things that we're the least pleased about when it comes to the models that we're talking about with you. So we're going to be doing that on our side. You do it on your side too. There's risk with everything, my friends. Get involved only because you've done your homework and because you feel comfortable with it. I can't control the risks that no one can control. This is not a sure thing, but it's about as good as anything else I've ever seen in my life when it comes to something that's passive. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, make it a great day and keep on cash flowing. Take care.